Let me ask you something about a comment Michael Lombardi dropped about Daniel Jones not deserving his $100 million deal. He also said, including the fact that he's the only QB in NFL history to receive a $100 million deal without having a 3,500-yard or 25-plus touchdown season.
Ooh, he's spitting. I'm just reading this tweet right here. 0-11. 0-11 against teams that have won 12 or more games, according to NFL research. The only quarterback to receive a contract in excess of $100 million and never have a season throwing for 3,500 yards or 25-plus touchdowns. I mean, listen, shout out to Michael Lombardi for just dropping the facts, because these are facts. There's nothing to argue against right here. These are this is the.
I'm texting him right now.
Please text him and tell him I said Big Smitty said thank you. Because at the end of the day,
I'm texting him right now to come on the show and argue with me.
I hope so, man. I hope so.
I love Michael, and I think he's as knowledgeable as anybody. My counter to him, and it wouldn't be a necessarily disagreement, but the counter would be what I say all the time about Daniel Jones in this situation. Let's be honest. Like, let's look at the whole thing as variables, because we'll all, in the media and everybody else, will all give certain guys passes for what they don't have. But this guy continues to be the one guy that no one seems to give a pass for having the worst O-line in football, the worst wide receiver core in football, losing their fucking running back twice, getting hurt throughout his tenure, then losing him now to another rival in the Eagles, Saquon, and then finally getting a decent, worthy rookie wide receiver. We'll see what Neighbors does. And losing a tight end again to retirement that we thought was going to be the savior for him. And you see my point, though? Is a lot of up and down, homie, with this cat right here. And everyone's just so quick to get rid of him. Just like y'all were with Sam Darnold. Just like y'all were with the Mormon MILF Hunter. Those, to me, Smitty, I'm just going to leave it at this and you can have it. The resume is still being written. I understand about the $100 million deal. It is what it is, but we're paying all of them. We talk about it every day. We're paying all these dudes. Trevor Lawrence hasn't earned it either. So either it's Kyler Murray. Either it's I can go down the list on a bunch of QBs.
At least those cats show some damn signs, though. God.
Signs. So is he. He won a playoff game.
He didn't win
a playoff game.
Stop.
He won a playoff game.
Saquon won the playoff game.
Man, don't say that shit. You're going to say the running back fucking won a playoff game.
He was the best player on the team. Kyler Murray was the best player on his team, contrary to believe. Trevor Lawrence, when they win a playoff game, he's the best player on his team, contrary to believe. Daniel Jones was not the best player on his team.
It doesn't matter. You're not going to talk about any running back in the NFL winning a playoff game other than this team right here because you don't like Daniel Jones. Get out of here with that shit. That's the worst take I've ever heard.
So you tell me Saquon wasn't vital to that team having success that season, JB? Come on now.
Hold on, though. You're going to tell me
you know too much football. You know too much football.
You're going to tell me you do too. You're going to tell me a running back is responsible for fucking winning a playoff game in the NFL.
Giants team. Giants team.
So then CMC took the 49ers to the Super Bowl.
Did you see Brock Purdy's numbers? Did you see Brock? I sound like Stephen A. Smith. Did you see Brock Purdy's numbers?
Holy shit, man.
Golly.
Oh, my God.
You have a fascination for sorry-ass players in the NFL, and I don't know why. You dislike the greats, and you love the shitty players. And I think it's because, I don't know if it's you feel like the greats get too much praise too soon, so it makes you feel uncomfortable. But then all the shitty players who you feel like gets too much slack, too much whatever, you feel like you got to uplift them. It's like a weird. I've learned this about you in the last few years. You have a weird little thing there where you don't like Mahomes, you don't like Lamar, you don't like all these great players, but then you love Danny Dimes, you love Sam Darnold, you love. It's like I don't get you, man.
Let me counter that.
Please counter.
How about what you think is great is not great to me? How about that?
Okay.
So why is that wrong? Why is that wrong? If I don't believe that a guy that knows the position. And if I don't believe he is great, and to your great standard, term of definition of great, then I'm a hater. It makes zero sense to me. There is no greatness anymore. This position is as watered down as it's ever been. I talk about it all the time. Is Daniel Jones fucking Troy Aikman? No, I'm not saying it. He is. But if we're going to pay Kyler Murray, who's never won a playoff game, then we're going to pay Daniel Jones, who has. And that just is what it is. That's the point of this whole thing. We're not going to talk about a running back winning a playoff game. Like, let's be real. It's all quarterback generated. That's why we just saw Trevor Lawrence get paid. That's why we just saw Lamar get paid. Jalen Hurts get paid. Tua's about to get paid. Dak's about to get paid. Kirk Cousins got paid. This is why. It's not about the running back. Why is the running back so lowly paid then? If that's the case, come on, man. It makes no sense. These guys are not great to me. It's just an opinion. I'm just saying, if they're not as great to me as they are to you, doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means that is the disagreement.
No, I'm cool with that. But your energy towards the top of the line players, let's call them the top of the league players. They don't have to be great, but the best players in this league. The energy towards them is always finding a way to attack Mahomes or to discredit what he's done, to discredit what Lamar has done. But then with guys like Daniel Jones, it's complete opposite. You find ways to uplift
but
the
Smitty,
little things that he's done. He's won a playoff game. He's done this. He's done that. Well, all I'm saying is, why can't you use that same positive energy that you use with Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold and all the excuse making you make for those guys? Why can't you make those same excuses and use that same energy towards Lamar and Mahomes and Josh Allen and those cats?
This is why. Those guys are inherited great rosters. Let's just keep it real. You act like Lamar Jackson came into a New York Jets or Giants organization or Carolina. These guys you're talking about have inherited great rosters, not only on defense, which helps a quarterback in the NFL. If you didn't know this, people, not only great defenses have these guys inherited, if we look at it, great weapons around them, great O-lines, great running games. They're not great quarterbacks. They manage a great roster and are freaks of nature athletically, and we give them passes as if they're the next great thing because, to your whole point, they get the bag. Lamar got paid for what? And then he won MVP last year with the lowest MVP winning numbers ever.
Still won. Best player on the best in the league.
Homie. This is just a mediocrity, in my opinion. It's not a. It's a disagreement on what my greatness is versus yours. I get your point. You want to pay that, but if you're going to pay a guy that hasn't won a playoff game, you got to pay the guy that has. That's just is what it is. You can't fight me on that and tell me there's a difference.
I'm not fighting you on that. I'm not like get your money. You know me. Get your money.
Guys, like we just brought up Trevor Lawrence. When you talk about those guys getting paid, there's no difference in my opinion. And by the way, through their first 48 starts, aren't these guys almost identical? Him and Trevor Lawrence?
Like, all right, listen, I'm not a big Trevor Lawrence guy. You know I'm not, because I was on here.
I'm just saying numbers wise.
But all right, using your quarterback eyes that you have, because our eyes work. Forget the numbers, forget everything else for 5 minutes. Your eyes work. You telling me you feel like Daniel Jones is just as good as Trevor Lawrence? Like, do you really, like, for real? Like, no bullshit.
First of all, Daniel's a better athlete.
Okay.
Daniel's a better athlete, and Daniel can make every single throw Trevor Lawrence can make. Can he not?
So you're saying yes then?
Yeah, yes, of course.
Okay, cool. All right.
But what I'm saying is, can he not make every single throw, and is he not a better athlete than Trevor Lawrence?
He's a better athlete for sure.
Okay, so what's the difference in those two?
I don't think he can make as every throw as consistent as Trevor Lawrence can make them.
But Trevor Lawrence is one of the most inconsistent throwers in the last 3 years.
But that lets you know how bad Daniel Jones is then.
But that's my point, Smitty. He just got a bag. That's my whole point of this conversation. You just paid Trevor Lawrence, and you said, hey, it is what it is. That's the market. Then why is this guy not supposed to get paid? I'm using your own.
What I'm saying is, like, our eyes got to work at some point. Like, I guess here's what I'm saying. With Trevor Lawrence, although I'm not high on Trevor Lawrence, this guy at one point in time, a couple years ago, was the number one overall draft pick. This was a cat that we were having conversation in the media of, like, damn, is there a way that they could change the rules at Clemson or in college to make him get to the NFL quicker? He's going to be the second coming of Andrew Luck. Now, he's falling short from that for sure, but there was a reason the conversations were being had based upon the talent that we saw. Danny Dimes was a really good quarterback at Duke, but he was never in the same breath as Trevor Lawrence from an overall skill set, ability to throw the football around, accuracy, way he stands in the pocket, etc. Never. So and then again, watching the NFL tape, even just the way Trevor Lawrence, some of the throws he's made and the way he plays, like, the offense runs through and has always ran through Trevor Lawrence, good or bad. The offense goes through Trevor Lawrence. He's a clear-cut leader and best player on that team or on that offense, we'll say, the leader of the offense. Where Danny Dimes has never, to this point, been considered the best player on his offensive team. Why? Because it was the back for the offense. I've always went through Saquon when healthy. And the best season they ever had is when Saquon was healthy. As soon as he gets hurt, the team fucking hit rock bottom.
Crazy. You guys,
make it make sense. Why can't, if Danny Dimes is so good, why can't they play well when Saquon is hurt?
You guys got
Why can't they make the playoffs when Saquon is hurt? I don't understand that. If Danny Dimes is the guy, why do they need Saquon so much?
It
doesn't make sense to me.
You guys. So why does Purdy need CMC so much? Like, come on, man. Miss me with this bullshit. You guys are crazy with this. You're comparing Daniel Jones at fucking Duke to fucking Trevor Lawrence at Clemson on a 2-time national championship roster who beat Alabama? You're talking about Duke, homie, and then you're talking about the New York.
Why'd he go to Duke? Why'd he go to Duke?
New York Giants.
Why'd he go to Duke? Listen,
I
went to Ball State. Hold on. I went to Ball State. I didn't go to Michigan. No. I wasn't a 5-star guy. There was a reason behind that, JB. It's a reason behind that.
Hold on, though.
Your talent took you to Duke.
Why did Josh Allen not have one fucking D1 recruit and went to fucking Wyoming, homie? Make it make sense. Why did Trey Lance go to fucking FCS school then? You guys talk about quarterbacks that have no Trey Lance,
and we see what Trey Lance has done in the NFL. Horrible example.
Half this chat has not a clue about fucking quarterbacks. The general population has not a clue about the quarterback position, and yet you tell me to make my eyes work. My eyes do work better than everyone else. That's the problem. But I'm the hater. Hold on. This dude was a JUCO kid, Josh Allen, out of high school. Had to go JUCO, then didn't have no 5 D1 offers, goes to Wyoming, and now we're talking about a Hall of Fame Mount Rushmore type of guy. So if it doesn't matter where you go, Smitty, then what are we arguing about?
Listen, I'm putting it all together. College and what we've seen in the NFL. Danny Dimes have not shown me shit. I'm sorry.
I get it. That's fine.
He ain't showing you nothing either. You're just hoping and praying and wishing and rolling the dice and just thinking he's gonna be something. He ain't really showing you nothing.
That's the difference, though. That's the difference in this argument.
I sure wish you gave Lamar Jackson the same amount of like fucking just coddling. I wish you rocked Lamar like this too, boy, because the standards is so different for certain players, and I don't get why. I don't understand why.
That's why. That's the whole disagreement. You don't understand why, because I'm telling you that my eyes do work in a different way. I have seen Daniel Jones do things. That's why. You think I'm just trolling and I'm going to say, oh, this guy's horrible. We see him. Shaun King comes on here and talks about Geno Smith all the time. If he was outside in shorts, you'd be like, fuck, he's the best ball spinner in the league.
Right, but football ain't played in shorts, so I don't care about that.
I get it.
I had teammates who look like Tarzan and play like Jane. I don't care about none of that. What do you do when the film comes on with pads on?
My point is everyone we see through our eyes at the position is a lot different than you or whoever else in this chat. It's a different lens. That's all I'm saying. There is something I see in Daniel Jones. There is something I see in some of these guys. And then there's guys I see benefiting from a roster. Which, we talk about this all the time. Take Mahomes to Chicago. Is he Mahomes right now? You and I have talked about this, and we both said no, hell no.
I don't think so. I think Andy Reid's very important.
Okay, and the roster's not bad either. Like, come on.
Yeah.
This is an organization. Yeah,
but even last year, roster wasn't that good. They still won. But I hear you, bro.
We talk about guys getting drafted and where they get drafted all the time.
It matters.
Cam Newton, all these guys that have. We talk about all these guys from Ryan Leaf on down. Where they got drafted and to who matters. But for Daniel Jones, it don't. For Zach Smith or Wilson, it don't. For Trevor Lawrence, for whatever reason, getting drafted into a team that was a first-year college coach legend coaching in the NFL don't matter. Like, come on, man, it does. This shit matters. If I see a skill set on a queue and I know this guy is special like Sam Darnold and has all the skill set, then I'm going to say it. And I'm going to say, guess what, dog? Sam Darnold's had 6 head coaches and 7 OCs in his first 3 years in 2 horrible organizations, the Jets and Carolina. And you guys are seriously going to sit here and argue and say, oh, it doesn't matter. Still, he's turned the ball over. Really? So it doesn't matter that the center is getting fucking blown up into his chest at the snap of the ball. It doesn't matter at all. He's supposed to just say, oh, fucking throw a touchdown. Come on, man. You guys sound naive and ignorant when you talk about quarterbacks out here. You guys in the chat think that you really know this position better than me. It's crazy. All things matter, not just two things like Smitty says. All things matter at this position. At this position in this league, all things matter. Daniel Jones got away with being special at Duke because he was special. Trevor Lawrence got away with being special at Clemson because he was special, just like Deshaun Watson was before him. And there's all these different criteria that make quarterbacks have success. It goes down to roster, structure, coach, character, work ethic, and then result. And the results are how we judge these guys. And if Daniel Jones had been winning more games than he won already by beating Minnesota in the playoffs, we would say this guy is well worth the $100 million. Let's just be real.
But of course, but he's not winning.
Either Kyler Murray, but Kyler Murray is to you, homie. Kyler Murray's worth it, though.
Kyler Murray was about to be an MVP before he got hurt, JB.
Oh, man, miss me with that shit.
Kyler Murray about to be an MVP before he got hurt, JB.
You'll pay him, but not Daniel Jones.
And again, your eyes, yes, I would. Yep. Yes, I would.
Your eyes don't work.
Because my eyes work. Because my eyes work. You talk about talent. Kyler Murray's a better athlete. He's faster. He's quicker. He has a better arm. The guy was drafted to go to the fucking MLB and the NFL at the same time. One of the best premier athletes in the NFL. My eyes do work, actually. How about that?
I know what it is.
You better not say it.
When D linemen speak about QBs, they speak of a guy that they don't want to chase around, and they think he's so God-gifted because they have to chase this dude around. I can't get a sack on him. I know what it is. Because every D lineman I know talks about the quarterback they couldn't sack, and they talk about the one they could sack, and they say he's garbage. But he's the guy that win a Super Bowl.
So if that's the case, then okay, let's start the argument because I got to rebuttal to that. If that's the case, why did I just pick Trevor Lawrence over Danny Dimes after we both agreed that Danny Dimes is a better athlete? Make it make sense, homie.
Say what?
Your math ain't mathing. We just agreed that Trevor. I just told you 5 minutes ago that I would pick Trevor Lawrence over Danny Dimes after you and I both agreed that Danny Dimes is the better athlete than Trevor Lawrence. So if what you just stated about athletic quarterbacks and D linemen were true, don't you think I would have chose Danny Dimes over Trevor Lawrence, homie?
No.
Come on, bro.
This ain't, come on, dog. You're comparing apples to oranges. You're not comparing fucking Kyler Murray. So is Kyler Murray not a better freak of nature than both of them?
Of course.
Okay, so come on. You're comparing apples and oranges. You're comparing Daniel Jones and Trevor Lawrence, who are very comparable. Let's be honest. They're both comparable in skill set. Arm talent, athlete, in the pocket, runner. Daniel Jones, though, we both agree, is slightly better athletically because he's probably faster. He's probably faster. Wait up. Is Daniel Jones he's faster? He's faster. We know he's almost as fast as fucking Justin Fields. Daniel Jones can roll.
So don't say slightly. Like, he's a better athlete than Trevor Lawrence. Like, the point made clear. He's harder to chase down as a D lineman, but he still ain't better than Trevor Lawrence. Listen, I will never be able to break down quarterbacks the way you will. I would never come on here and try to say that. Let me ask you this. But some stuff I don't need to be all fucking expert. Some stuff just watch.
I don't think you need to
watch. Like, I know Joe Burrow when healthy is great. I know Mahomes is great. I know Lamar Jackson is something we've never seen before. I know Josh Allen. There's certain stuff where you don't have to be a fucking super scientist behind this shit where I just common sense. I know football. I know the guys I don't want to play against. I know the guys who wins games. I know who the guys who are the true leaders and best players on their teams and the guys who aren't. At some point, you got to nut up or shut up. Now, listen, Danny Dimes, he might end up being really good. Geno Smith, it took him a long time. Geno Smith struggled early in his career, found the right system late in his career, got connected with Pete Carroll, and had a bounce back kind of type of career, I would say, on the back half. Shout out to Geno. Maybe Danny Dimes can do that. Maybe Sam Darnold can do that. But we got to pump the brakes. We still got to see it, though. Like, I mean, golly.
But listen, you don't have to know the quarterback position. You can, football. So to that point, like, we're going to disagree on the thing. But I got to ask you this, though. Like, let's just give me a real answer. You taking the fucking Jaguars off team or the Giants team? Don't talk about the quarterback. What team are you taking? And if I swap those two players, I bet you fucking Daniel Jones is goddamn pretty successful. I'm just throwing it out there. But we always never want to talk about the team. We always talk about the result of the QB. Dog, the QB is a direct fucking.
It's close. It's close. I'll probably take the Jazz, but it's close though.
It's not close.
The Jazz ain't something envy. You know, like the Jazz got some like
but they're a lot
Hall of
better
Fame
than
roster
the Giants,
over there or something.
They're a lot better than the Giants. Come on.
Giants got Malik Neighbors. I don't know. They got some cats.
We haven't even seen this team yet. We haven't even seen this team play yet. But either team. We're not even talking about this year's team. We're talking about the last 3 years that these two quarterbacks have been on these two teams.
Okay, so Saquon, you got the
damn well you're taking the Jags.
Best running back in the game, arguably in Saquon. I don't know. I mean, I'd probably take the Jags, but it ain't as far away as what you think. It ain't as like clear cut as what you think.
You guys just have to understand, man, when you're a young quarterback, and I'm just keeping it honest, when you're a young quarterback, to have success, like Mahomes got to see Alex Smith, and he goes in the game and he has all things perfect world scenario. He has a great O-line, a great defense, and a great pass-catching tight end. He has a great play-calling coach. This is all things perfect for a QB. We're acting as if Patrick Mahomes was already put in the Hall of Fame coming out of Texas Tech. We talk about Texas Tech, Patrick Mahomes, the same way we're talking about AR5 coming out of Florida. It wasn't some godly quarterback we've never seen. We never hyped up Patrick Mahomes like we are. You guys hyped up. You didn't hype up Josh Allen coming out of Wyoming. He had all things perfect. He had Buffalo, great defense. Buffalo,
hold on. If you're gonna use Josh Allen, though, shit was not perfect in Buffalo.
I'm just
saying though, that's Buffalo was not like this. Some talented superstar roster. You know that.
I'm going down the list on all these quarterbacks is my point. I can go down the list on all these guys. You didn't fucking expect Ben Roethlisberger to come out of fucking Miami of Ohio and be the guy he was. All things were perfect for certain guys. Why did Tony Romo struggle early coming out of Southern Illinois? And then we're like, damn, Romo's one of the best ball spinners I've ever seen. I got Tony Romo in my top 10 ball spinners of all time. We didn't know that coming out of Southern Illinois. But guess what? He got around a pretty good fucking roster in Dallas. And guess what? All things have to be coinciding with your success for a quarterback. That's just what I'm saying. If you get drafted to a horrible franchise, we talk about Smitty, you're on record saying it. How do we know? We never saw the guy on any fucking structured, great, organized team. We've always seen him in this team, in this O-line, in this running. He was horrible. There was horrible. I wish I could have seen Justin Fields in KC. We've always heard about it. We always use these narratives. So why does it not go with the quarterback that's struggling or haven't met our, I guess, expectations based on pay? At least I keep it real all the time and say none of these dudes deserve this pay. Not in my opinion, because we set it up. Now we're talking about guys and we're individualizing each guy as to what they're worth. When the market has said they're all worth this. Like, we're trying to break down each guy now. It's like, to me, I don't want to use the word fair, but to me, it's like a very, very skewed way of evaluating the QB if we're going to talk about the bag of money that they're getting based on the results they're earning. Because Kyler Murray hasn't earned that bag. Daniel Jones has earned this much more because he has a playoff win. But we're not going to pay him because he hasn't beat a top team and he's 0-11 versus teams of this and this. That's not how we pay them, though, Smitty. You said that all the time. We're not basing these guys off their records versus certain teams. This is the NFL. Like, come on, man. Anyone can beat anybody any given day.